you want me to add that as an amendment or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Finally got to the agenda. I couldn't find my steering committee notes either because I left there. I forgot this is the one time I did this on my phone. I'm like looking to see what his notes were.
I'd like to call this evening's meeting to order. It's June 12th, 6 p.m. If all could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wait for him. You wait for Corey.
Everyone to walk in during it.
Yeah.
He said he's almost here. It might just be. I'm just going to wait 1 minute to get started. Yeah, I just saw somebody walk up to the door. There's someone to walk in during that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
Oh, he's right there.
Jen, the door.
He's at the side door.
We'll let Corey get seated and we'll continue on. For the start of tonight's meeting, I would ask us to please pause to honor the memory of Izzy Catania, a bright young soul whose time with us was far too short. In this moment of silence, we remember her light, her laughter, and her love that she leaves behind. Thank you. Are there any agenda items to consider for tonight's agenda?
Yes, if we could add 6.1D under personnel, we have the elementary teacher that we'd like to appoint.
Any other additions? Can I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
I'll move.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to approve the regular minutes of May 20th.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The consent agenda tonight is 3.1 through 3.6. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda as recommended by the superintendent.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And that brings us to our first community participation part of the meeting. If you so choose to participate, please come forward. and state your name. Please remember our policy for this portion of the meeting. Seeing nobody move, we will move on. There's another session later. Personnel, I need a motion to approve the administrator and confidential salaries and stipends for the 25-26 school year as recommended and presented by the superintendent.
Move. Second.
Discussion would be an executive session. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to accept the resignation of Megan Gridley, teacher aide, effective May 16th, as recommended by the superintendent, with sincere appreciation for her services rendered to the district.
Second.
Discussion would be an executive session. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to abolish the position of Office Assistant 1, OA1, and create the position of Office Assistant 2, OA2, effective July 1st, 2025, as recommended by the superintendent.
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to approve the following faculty and staff for 25 summer school programs at HCS and MOBOCES, as well as for their, as well as for summer help as recommended by the principals and superintendent.
Second.
Any discussion? Thank you to everybody that are doing this work. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to approve Eric Velasky
Alaska.
to a 4-year probationary appointment as a band teacher in the 10-year area of music, effective September 1, 2025 through August 31, 2029, as provided and recommended by the secondary principal and superintendent.
Second.
Any discussion? Welcome aboard. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I guess I should have waited for the welcome aboard for the vote. There was no discussion. A motion to approve Laura Marie Preston
Elfenbein.
Sorry, Laura, to a 3-year probationary appointment as a special education teacher in the 10-year area of special education, effective September 1, 2025 through August 31, 2028, as provided and recommended by the elementary principal and superintendent.
Move. Second.
Discussion would be an executive session. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Welcome. Motion to approve the addition of Sheila Dowslin, Robette Schubert, and Samantha Simchick to the substitute list as recommended by the administrative team and superintendent.
And Allison Farrar.
Oh, and Allison Farrar, I totally missed her, as a summer or sub cleaner.
I'll move. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, Allison, for missing it. Look at her. I need a motion to approve the appointment of Chelsea Carhart Lehman as probationary office assistant 2, effective July 1, 2025 to December 31, 2025, as recommended by the elementary principal and superintendent.
Second.
Discussion would be an executive session. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Welcome aboard. I need a motion to approve Michaela Caron to a 4-year probationary appointment as elementary teacher in the 10-year area of elementary education, effective September 1, 2025 through August 31, 2029, as provided and recommended by the elementary principal and superintendent.
Second.
Discussion would be an executive session. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Welcome aboard. A motion to approve the recommendation of the committees on special education and preschool special education.
Move.
Second. Discussion would be an executive session. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to approve the class certification list for graduation contingent on each member completing all graduation requirements.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion?
Do we have to approve these as a whole, or can we single out, we couldn't single out like Colin on his own?
We can't keep them for another year.
I don't think we can keep them.
Okay.
No.
We tried.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Policy review. Policy committee. Turn it over to you.
These are annual policies that are required to be reviewed every year, so on the agenda for everybody to read and review and see if there's anything that needs to be done to change those.
Is there anything specific that's new or
No, they're just on here because they have to be reviewed, so
Okay.
nothing in here is changes,
changes?
although
Okay,
we do have the first reading of the new code of conduct
Correct.
coming up.
sure.
But the review of these doesn't,
Change that.
isn't part of that.
Okay. Thank you. I need a motion to approve the summer curriculum development projects as proposed and as recommended by the Director of PPS, Director of Technology, Principals, and Superintendent.
Move. A second.
Any discussion?
Seems like some real interesting projects, so.
Great work. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to approve the Board of Education meeting dates for 25-26 as proposed and recommended by the superintendent.
I'll move. Second.
Discussion?
The only thing I wanted to mention, I know that we discussed early on possibly trying to like stagger days of the week. Did we decide it's easier just to keep it?
Keep it consistent.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my only question.
Any other questions? Okay. And you'll put those on all of our calendars at some point. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to adopt the bus resolution of the Hamilton Central School District authorizing the issuance and sale of several bonds or notes in anticipation of such bonds in the aggregate principal amount of $180,000 as recited in the attachment.
Move.
Nope. Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead. You move.
We-
Move in second.
I'll second.
All right. Jody will do the vote.
And
Aye.
Corey,
Aye.
Amanda,
Aye.
Jen,
Aye.
Michelle.
Aye. Motion passes. I need a motion to adopt the RIC 1 Risk Operations Resolution as provided, authorizing the ROC, the Risk Operations Center, to enter into a digital privacy agreement for the 25-26 fiscal year in compliance with Ed Law 2D and associated regulations.
Move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to accept the results of the school board, the school budget vote and the elections of May 20, 2025 as presented.
Move. Second.
Any discussion? I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who came out to vote and for supporting our district in the way that you have. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Need a motion to approve Hamilton's participation in the following combined sports programs for the 2025-2026 school year as recommended by the athletic coordinator and superintendent. Modified, JV, and varsity wrestling with Sherburne Earlville. Tentatively, one varsity player.
Second.
Other discussion items?
Thank you to Sherburne Earlville.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to accept the following monetary donations with sincere appreciation and increase the budget by these amounts as recommended by the business manager and superintendent.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Thank you to the First Baptist Church Deacons Fund and the Hamilton PTO.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Code Code of Conduct Public Hearing, first reading discussion only. I'll turn that over to you guys as well. Right, it's up.
This has been a long time in progress and has gone through, I think most of us have seen it in the different committees we're on. And now we have to have a 30-day public comment period, so that's open now to the public to comment, and this serves as our first reading.
Okay. Thank you for the work, for everybody's work on this.
Yeah.
Policy reading 1 for extreme heat condition days.
This is a new policy required and creates an action plan for the extreme heat conditions in the school at 2 different temperature readings, 82 and 88, and aligns with our current practices as well.
We need to do a resolution to approve the collective bargaining agreement with Local 200 United SEIU. So there's some whereases, so here we go. Whereas the negotiating terms for the Hamilton Central School District and the Local 200 United SEIU have reached a tentative agreement on the terms of a new collective bargaining agreement, and whereas the Local 200 United SEIU has ratified the tentative agreement. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that the Board of Education of the Hamilton Central School District hereby ratifies and approves the terms of the collective bargaining agreement between the district and the Local 200 United SEIU effective July 1 through June 30th, 2029, and authorizes the superintendent of schools to execute the final agreement on behalf of the district.
Second?
Discussion?
Thank you for everyone's work on this.
Yeah.
Great job. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we've moved on to information and correspondence. Your turn.
My turn.
Your turn.
So on behalf of the entire district, I just want to thank the board and our community for the support of our budget. It was a big ask, and the community came through and supported this district as they always have. And we are able to sustain all programs and services and staffing, and I think that's important. And this community values and trusts what we're doing here, and that was clear by this budget vote. As I say, this was a big ask, and I appreciate the board's work and the board pushing us to get there and the community support. So thank you all for that. Bus garage, just a quick update on the bus garage and what you see out there. We are working with our architects and insurance agents. Right now, the contractors are getting quotes to infill the openings and fix the I-beam so that the doors can be put back in and it can be functional. So once we have that pricing and it's been approved by the insurance company, we'll proceed with that work. So right now, it will stay as is until we are able to get that go-ahead from the insurance company to do that work. So hopefully that's coming soon, and we have pricing and we can start working to get that fixed. Some state legislative updates. I hope I don't take any of your
I was just gonna say that today's supposed to be it, but I hadn't had
any of your thunder. A couple of things. There is going to be an elementary school recess study, and Heather and I are going to have to talk about this. The bill would require the Education Commissioner to conduct a study by way of a survey relating to recess in kindergarten through grade 6 across the state. The study must include information relating to various components of recess in schools and how it's provided. This is NICET's #1 priority for the end of session. The study report would be due to the legislator by the end of the calendar year. This means NICET would be gearing up to use this report to potentially advocate during the 2026 legislative season for mandatory recess periods in elementary schools. There are some schools that don't provide recess. Obviously, we do. So it's a good thing. But we're going to have to do some reporting on what our recess looks like, how long, how we work it, so.
Would that change too? You said that the study was through grade 6?
Through grade 6,
So could
yeah.
that impact our middle school, our
Yeah,
sixth
yeah.
grade? Because they don't currently get recess, right?
They get a little recess after lunch.
Oh,
So they go
okay.
outside or they go to the gym.
Okay.
Yep, so. The second update is Narcan in schools. We have a Narcan policy, and we do have Narcan on site. So we're ahead of this. If this bill passes, they're going to require the Narcan dispensing units to be adjacent to each AED in the building. So we are already in the process. We're working with Bridges. Madison County has free Narcan cabinets, which we already have, and we have Narcan already in the building. So we would just have to, if this bill passes, just put them adjacent to what our AEDs that we have in the building right now. So, you know, the entire campus is covered with both AEDs and Narcan right now. We are looking at this, it would be one of our superintendent's conference days of having all of our bus drivers trained in Narcan and putting Narcan on our buses, which I think is a smart move. God forbid if we ever have to use it, but we have it and we have people trained to administer it. So we're going to move forward with that.
Right.
And then smartphone guidance. So the governor, as you saw, I put out a release this week to all of our families and students. The cell phone restriction is in place. However, there's no guidance out on what that would look like. So the Assembly and Senate are pushing the governor to put out that guidance on what exactly are the terms and conditions that districts are to enforce this policy. We know some of the restrictions, we don't know all of the restrictions. And the big thing right now is about the funding. The governor allocated $13.5 million to buy smartphone containers to secure them throughout the day. No one knows what that will look like, how you secure those funds, when those funds would arrive, how the reimbursement, so there's a lot of questions. But we as an administrative team we're moving forward. We're going to have a policy in place, and parents will be fully aware, students will be fully aware. When they walk into school the first day, cell phones are going to be restricted. Mm-hmm. And that's from bell to bell, and that's on campus as well. That's the entire campus. There's specific wording in there. So no more phones at lunch, no more phones at passing. They're away. So more to come. And that's what I have from the state.
Do we know if the assembly wrapped up? I know they were talking about staying until next week.
I think, no, they did not wrap up.
Yeah, I didn't think
Nope.
so.
Nope. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Turn it over to the administrators. We'll start with Mark. No? It says valedictorian and salutatorian, so.
Oh,
Valsal.
yes, we announced our ValSal during a forum along with our senior send-off this past week. So our valedictorian, Colin Olson. And our salutatorian, Lena Harnick, who is just on the way back from New York City. She's honored through this last award that she received on Carnegie Hall. Just a great time. I saw Ms. Kowalski put up a bunch of pictures, and I'm sure she has more when she comes
Looked
back.
really nice.
I think they will.
It's great. Well, congratulations to both.
Yeah.
Sorry to call you out, but it was there and I was excited. The senior class future plans are there? Are they in the document? No?
They're not in the packet?
No.
Okay.
So
We can
those
get
will
those to you.
Shared out.
Yeah, we can share it out.
Great.
I love looking at those, so.
I believe they were still trying to track.
Are they? Okay. Once we have that list finalized, we'll share it with you.
Okay. Athletic report. Big news.
Big
game
news,
tomorrow.
yeah, softball team advanced to the Final Four. They play the Section 6 team, Forestville. They won the regional. Section 6 played Section 5. We played Section 4. So Forestville advanced. We play them tomorrow morning in Binghamton, or tomorrow afternoon in Binghamton at 1 o'clock. The winners advance to the state championship game on Saturday. So that's very exciting.
Very exciting.
Our golf team won the sectional championship. Claire Filipowicz won two sectional championships, 100 hurdles and 400 hurdles, and was .12 seconds off from qualifying for the state meet.
Wow.
So,
But broke a school record.
yeah. Track team broke a bunch of school records this spring. They're very successful.
Huh.
Yep. So, all great things this spring.
Great job, Paul.
SEL report, anything of note there?
Renee submitted that to you.
Okay.
Our SEL team continues to do great things. During the last couple of weeks, they were tremendous. The level of compassion and support that entire team, Kevin's team, our crisis team, our administrators, our faculty and staff provided to students was heartwarming. You know, it's been a difficult couple of weeks, and everybody in this building was here for each other and supported each other and showed up for each other every day, and that's important.
Matt, you said you were pretty light this week?
I do have one thing. I don't remember when we were notified, somewhere around, it was shortly after the budget vote, so after the May board meeting, we got notification that our tax cap was being audited and reviewed by the Office of the State Comptroller. We submitted everything, it's sort of a desk audit, we submitted everything right away. I actually got a call back yesterday from the reviewer with some questions. All was good. We should be getting some kind of letter or some kind of confirmation of the review, but all indications are they were good with everything. They actually thought, their calculation thought that our allowable would be slightly higher, which I sort of expected. We always sort of estimate things conservatively as to not be accused of trying to inflate that number. It is kind of err on the side of caution. So all in all, it seems like good news, but we get the number, I think, same with that time. So
Great.
they do that periodically. And it's just good news to know that we kind of went the right way. Not everything exists.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
And for our final Colin report?
All right. I just wanted to say with this report, thank you to all of you on the board and to the HCS administration. It's been really fun being on the board. I know some people don't think the meetings are the most fun, but I find it really interesting learning about all this. It's something I've never really had experience with. So kind of getting to peek into what the community is feeling about our school, how the state and federal legislature is affecting us, and our student population. It's been really amazing. I think some of my key takeaways from this have been, number one, just seeing all the points of view out there and being able to consider, the circumstances of some people might be different from myself, might be different from other people, and just trying to find solutions to the problems that kind of suit everyone. That's been really fun for me to really learn about that, and I really hope to take that into my future in attending West Point next year and my career in the Army, because I think that skill will be really helpful. And then second, I really figured out that when I show up and I let my voice be heard, I can have a lot of power, and I can help out in ways that I didn't think were really possible. So thank you guys for supporting me with that. It's been really great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I haven't even got the recognition yet. Knowledge sharing, elementary?
We just had a wrap-up meeting for the year, kind of discussed, we still haven't heard back unless something has changed about the grant. You heard back?
Unfortunately, we didn't receive the grant.
Oh.
So I did have a follow-up phone call
Yeah.
with the foundation, so I have some good information to kind of share back
about.
Okay,
and
yeah.
Yes, so, it was a great
But a
process.
good process.
It really was, and,
Yeah.
you know, we have some other things that are maybe in the works.
Yeah.
So that was good, but yes.
We talked about, I mean, it kind of like started something with Heather, she wants to like write grants over the summer and stuff.
Over the summer.
So we just talked about different ways that we can reach out to other, you know, funding sources through grant writing and working possibly with somebody at BOCES to help with grant writing too. So, so that could be fun. We discussed how the cell phone ban would impact elementary because there aren't as many cell phones, but everybody's going to get, I believe, a locker. We're still kind of hashing that out, but everybody would get a cell phone, you know, or smartwatch locker. So same protocols as what's already being done in the middle school. And no, we're just looking forward to next year, I guess, at this point. Yeah.
Secondary, I'm gonna look to you, Mark, because I was
Yeah.
not,
So
we ended up having one, right?
Three big things we were kind of working on throughout the year.
We didn't go to the last meeting.
One would be an FAQ for the school webpage to help students navigate all the information that the counselors have. Because that's been brought up a couple times. Parents or students might not know, oh, what's a typical course pathway? Or how do I, sign up for financial aid? Or, what are the different options for looking at after-school opportunities, after high school opportunities? And so we thought if we could get an FAQ put together, because a lot of that information, the counseling page has a ton of stuff in it. It's just finding it can sometimes be difficult. So the idea is get that page together with questions and have direct links to where that information will be found. So I've given that idea to Ms. Inman, who fields a lot of those questions. So she's kind of keeping track of what are some of the common things that people ask. Working papers, how do I get working papers, those types of things. And so hopefully work on that this summer, build that, and then add to it as we think of more things. The second thing we did this year, we looked at, Bridges came and shared a lot of the opportunities that they have. And so we're going to continue to look at how we can incorporate what they offer into our classes. They already work with our leadership group in the middle school. They do have a program that looks like it'll fit nice into our health class. Ms. Warren is going to look at some of the stuff that they do and see how she can put it into some of her units for their ELA classes. So just looking at those opportunities and trying to get that in here as much as possible. And then the last thing we worked on or talked about and started to develop would be an advocacy page. Just to kind of, who do I go to if I want to voice my opinion about this or that? So get that information together and just have it be available for people.
Thank you for summing that up.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Inclusivity?
We was not.
We were forced to postpone our last meeting
Okay.
as scheduled. We essentially just need to hear the report from the graduate student regarding the senior survey.
Okay. Well, thank you for moving along as needed for that. Advocacy. You got a bunch of notes over
I
there.
do. I have lots of little things, so I'll talk fast. This is kind of for the administration. I guess the Sentinel keeps reaching out and they want like local news articles. I guess they're really having to do like far stretches to get news. So that was something they wanted everyone to know. SBI is going to work on a general ad this fall on like what's involved with being a school board member, because there's a lot of districts are struggling to fill seats and people are staying on even though they're ready to move on. So they're going to work on some initiatives for that. And they will be contacting some of the local districts for like what are some of the common questions that you get and what do people think it is versus what it is, things like that. There were a lot of talks about the legislative budget and the fear that the governor has the ability for mid-year cuts. And especially what does that mean? Medicaid seems to be the really big thing. And so what is that gonna mean for students getting like OT, PT, speech, things like that that are billable services? and how that's really gonna affect. So we really don't know, but that was a really big thing for a lot of people. Regent Patrick Mannion has agreed to do like a discussion group for us. But he said that he prefers to do it in person, but he needs numbers. So we're not really sure what he means by needs numbers. Does he need like 10 or does he need 50? So they're gonna go back and ask questions, and if we can't guarantee him the numbers that he wants, they're gonna try to do something via Zoom. If anybody has any ideas for future programming, let me know and I'll pass that on. They are talking about doing, having Chobani come in September and talk about like what are some of the things that they're looking for in graduates and the jobs that they're hiring, especially with the big plant that's going up in Rome and things like that. And then they're talking about doing maybe a panel in November of many different industries, kind of again along the same lines. Like what do you want our students to be prepared for? What kind of skills are you finding that they don't have that you would like them to come to you with? They have talked about possibly canceling the showcase that they do that rotates between the 3 different BOCEs. I guess it costs quite a bit of money, and people aren't coming. Like the students, the teachers are putting so much time and effort, and then not very many people come. So it's a lot of money and it's really disheartening. So they're talking about some different ideas for that. They're basically saying they think it needs more promotion, things like that. They've talked about inviting BOCES district superintendents to one of the first meetings next year to try to get them to get their superintendents more involved. This doesn't pertain to our superintendent, but they did say that there's a lack of superintendents at events. Like if they're having a hard time getting superintendents. They just stated one event that they had, and there was a bunch of districts represented. I think there was one building principal, one superintendent in the room, and there was like 200 students or something like that. So really just trying to get more participation from administration at different districts. And then the last thing that I thought was kind of interesting, and I didn't know if it was something we wanted to talk about. So Clinton, they have just jumped on with like the student board member, and they've decided to do 2-year terms, 1 rotation. So this year they're gonna have 2, but typically you would just recruit a junior each year. And then obviously the junior move up. So I just thought that that was kind of like an interesting idea. So it was kind of like a mentoring program. And then, well, Colin was here. I just wanted to see if you had any thoughts on that.
I think it's a good idea. I don't know. I guess it's up to other people, like whether or not we want to implement that. But I know there were definitely some things coming in that I didn't quite understand, and I had to get little explanations on the side and all that. So even just like I can talk to maybe whoever's up next when I get a chance, and just kind of fill them in on some of the things that I didn't know coming in to help them. Because I do think there are things just going from being a student into this world that you definitely wouldn't be expected to know off the bat. So I do like the idea, yeah.
That's good information, thank you. They were talking too about like the continuity, like say the senior board member had made good momentum, and then all of a sudden like they're graduating and then it kind of falls off, that other person would be able to like carry some things through. So just something to throw out there.
Maybe it also gives them a chance to kind of see some of their ideas or suggestions that they make during junior year implemented then in their senior year or something.
Yeah.
Could be rewarding.
Just thought that was a great idea. So that was it. Thanks.
Thanks.
I'm going to do these a little out of order. The summer office hours started July 7th. The offices will operate on a 4-day work week, 32 hours, and one office will remain open every Friday with the exception of July 4th. Now I'd like to take a moment to thank Colin for his membership here on our board. This past year, your dedication, your time, commitment, ideas, and hard work have made very meaningful impact on our school community. Thank you for your outstanding service. We wish you the best as you head to West Point, and we have no doubt that you'll continue to achieve great things and make us proud, but you better come back and visit us. Okay. So thank you. I'm gonna give you a hug.
Take it back in uniform.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I didn't cry, so there you go.
I'm glad you said it, Mommy.
I had to push back, I wasn't ready at first. The policy regulation organizational meeting is, I don't have more on there than that.
July 15th.
July 15th, thank you. I missed that on this piece. So that's for information only. So we'll meet in July on the 15th. And now, I'd like to take another moment.
This is a very emotional meeting.
It's very emotional. Rough day. I'd like to take another moment. Sorry, but this is, it's okay. Right, but, tonight, on the behalf of the Board of Education, I share the news that carries both a heartfelt gratitude and excitement for what lies ahead. After thoughtful reflection, Superintendent Bill Dowslin has announced his decision to retire at the end of the 25-26 school year, capping an incredible 29 years of service to our district and 30 to public education. Throughout his remarkable career, Bill has served our school in nearly every capacity: substitute teacher, coach, athletic director, principal, and 6 years, next year being 7, of superintendency. At every step, he has led with integrity, kindness, and an unwavering commitment to our students, our staff, and the entire community. While his steady leadership and daily presence will be greatly missed, we are thrilled for Bill as he looks forward to spending more time with his family, Becky, and especially his grandchildren. A well-earned new chapter after so many dedicated years serving others. In the weeks and months ahead, the board will convene we'll have conversations about processes and timelines for next steps, which will actually start in a moment. But before that, please join me in congratulating Bill and thanking him for his extraordinary leadership, his countless contributions, and his lasting impact that he has made on our school and this community. We celebrate this exciting milestone with him and his family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Huh?
A token for you.
Oh, thank you. So this has been the honor of my professional career to serve this district. The work has been challenging at times, rewarding always, and I'm incredibly proud of what we've accomplished together. There is no other district I would rather serve than HCS.
Yep, I'm already there, don't worry. We got another year, hold it
We do,
together.
we do.
Okay, come on, Michelle.
This has been my extended family. My 3 sons graduated from here, and now my granddaughter is experiencing the same HCS pride and excellence. To the board, thank you for your trust, your guidance, and support. The relationships we've built is rare and something I deeply value. To our administrators, thank you for your tireless leadership. To our faculty and staff, thank you for your dedication to student success. To Jody, thank you for everything you do to support me and the board. To our students, your work in academics and extracurricular continues to inspire me. And to our families, your support has meant everything. But most of all, thank you to my wife, who has given so much so I could do this work. It's time I give that time back to her, our children, and our grandchildren. Thank you for being here. Each day, I've come to work with a clear purpose to fulfill our mission of educating every student every day. And I've grounded my leadership in the belief that if you think your decisions are what's best for your students, you can't be wrong. Thank you for allowing me this awesome opportunity to serve HCS. With that in mind, we still have one more year ahead and much to accomplish together. I'll continue to lead with that same purpose and dedication, fully committed to making the 25-26 school year another successful and meaningful one. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
I wasn't going to do that.
No?
I'm glad we saved this for the end of the meeting. I'm sorry.
Holy moly. Get emotional when you get old.
Ooh.
Yes.
Again, thank you. And what we need to do now that this has been announced is start the process. And it is a process. And it's something that is the main function of what we do as a board. So in order to do that, we need to set our first meeting date so that we can begin the process, hopefully before summer, so that we can have somewhat of an idea of what things will look like to come, and that we can communicate that throughout with the community. So I would like to suggest that we meet next Friday before school is out for a board workshop. It will be open to the public with no public comment and no video, but we will meet in here if that date works for you all. And I would like to suggest that we meet at 5 o'clock. Of course, if this doesn't work for you, we can discuss further, but it's always good to start with a time and date, so that's why I'm leading with that. And you're welcome. Does that work for everybody?
Yeah.
So what we'll do for that meeting is we will have the guidance of Scott Udelman, who is the BOCES district superintendent. He does run searches, but it doesn't mean he needs to run ours. But because he's the district superintendent, he can bring information to us so that we have a starting place. And from there, we will make decisions and comments and questions and things from there. Does that work for a date? So Jody, could you please make sure that you host that meeting for us? Thank you. Good. That brings us to community participation. I dare you. Don't make us cry again. No. All right. Nothing online?
Well, there are 3 people watching.
Thank you.
One of them is me,
Oh.
and there are no comments.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I don't even know if this is good, but we're going to make you do it anyways. You're going to read that one.
Following a motion to adjourn, the board will enter into.
No, sorry, we're not. We're
No.
going to do this one, sorry.
Wondered
No,
about that.
no, we need a motion to adjourn the meeting. That's what you need to say. Sorry, my bad.
You need a motion to adjourn the meeting, please.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sorry for that.
That was a test.
Meeting adjourned.
Good catch.
Thanks, everyone.